Okay, now so we have made this elementary absolute. So now we can freely move it to wherever we want to move it to. So let me just say right 0 pixels. You see what is going to happen. You see, so I can move it. Let me say top 0 pixels, right? All right. So I can still move it. Or let me change its own color to red so we can know the difference. All right. So let me move it to left 0 pixel. Right now, you see what is happening. So now it has even overlaid the first element. So this is a proof that it leaves the flow of the elements and relates with the closest elements that relate with the closest elements that have a relative um, property. I will explain that in the next explanation now. So what that means is, you know, the whole of this screen now is in our body. So if I define, let me define this now so that we know that everything is in the body. Border 2 pixels solid red. All right, so this is the entire body, right? Let's give it a height 100 view height, so it will take the whole screen, right? All right, so now this, if there is no position relative in this body, if there is an absolute element, if there is no element that is close to it with a relative position, it will go and relate with the root element, which is our root element here is our HTML, right? All right. But now, right now, if we let's make an example. If we put another element that we house this other element, we make another div element, right, and put all these elements, or let me just put the number 3 element, which is our absolute. Let me just write it here, absolute element. All right. Okay, right now we cannot see it clearly, so let me style it a bit so it will come out. So color white, padding 20 px. All right, so that is our absolute element. So let's take this our absolute element now and put it inside this new element called yeah. All right, so now let's tie this container. Let's call this one the container, right? The absolute container, absolute container, and style it. So we're going to style this now. All right, so we are going to define the border 2 pixels. Let's just make this one very big, 5 pixels. Let me put like brown, going to be different, or we'll say orange. Solid. Okay. So it's somewhere, the hidden somewhere. or we are going to see it clearer when we define the width. So we are going to make it 500 pixels, and the height, I'm making it 500 pixels. Alright, so that is where it is now, right? So you see what is happening now. So the absolute now is inside this parent, right? But it's not relating with this parent because this absolute container, which is his parent, there is no relative on it. So how do we know this now? Let me try to move this his parent, whether it will move together with it. Because if it's relating with this parent, if I move this parent now, is going to relate with it. So I'm going to add margin in the body and see whether you will see whether it will follow it. So in the body now, I'll make a margin top, a padding top, sorry, padding top of 40 significant space. So you see what is happening. So the parent is supposed to be living inside this box, but since this box is not relative, it is trying to relate with the roots, which is the HTML, right? Well, once I make this, I make this parent relative now because it's inside the parent, and absolute works closely with the closest element that have a relative value of a position property. So this is the container now. So if I now put relative on this, you see what happens. So the absolute element now have started relating with the absolute container where it is residing. So remember, this is the element, right? And is inside this absolute container. Look at the absolute container is inside. So no matter where I move this absolute container to, it will now go with it. So let us move this absolute container to the far right, 0 pixels. Right? Is it? Okay. So let's look for a way to move this. Let me do left 200 pixels. Right? See, it's moving with its parent now because the parent is parent position value is relative.